Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Vanessa and you're watching the Exploring Oracle, or the Exploracle for short. So today we will be taking a look at this deck called the Zodiac Tarot. So this is what the box looks like. It is written by Cecilia Latari and illustrated by Anna Chavez. Let's go check Tarot. It's published by US Games. And it says here, we are made of stars. Zodiac Tarot reveals the close connections between the stars, their journey across the celestial sphere, and life on Earth. The observation of planetary movements and the sky has always given us keys to a better understanding of human nature and ultimately ourselves. The major arcana link to the zodiac and planets, while the minor arcana connect to the four elements, leading us into a world where astrological energy blends with traditional tarot to illuminate our divinatory path under the stars. So it includes a 78 card deck and 128 illustrated guidebook. Alright. So the box is like a drawer type box. There's nothing on the inside here. You have here, oh okay, yeah. So you have another box, a top box inside the box. And the guidebook. Now, first let's talk about the packaging. I am not a fan of box within a box type things because I usually keep my decks in their original packaging, and if it's in a box within a box, it's just another layer that I have to get to before I can use the cards. But yeah, so anyway, let me just take that out. Move all of these boxes out of the way and let's take a look at the guidebook. Okay, so this is the guidebook for the Zodiac Tarot. So you have a table of contents, so some introduction on the tarot cards and the zodiac, the structure of the deck, and then the descriptions of the major and minor arcana, and then how to read tarot. Okay, so the association between tarot cards and astrology, at first and foremost, based on the elements. Air, water, earth, and fire are the natural elements that we will find in the minor arcana, the court cards, and in the zodiac signs. So the wand cards are linked to the planet in Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and the element of fire. The cups are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces in the water element. Then you have the sword cards, which are the air elements, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And the pentacles are the earth signs, or the earth element, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So the court cards are defined by the four natural elements and their combinations. So it follows the energy of the suit. For example, the Queen of Wands. So the Wands is the fire suit. And then the Queen represents water. So the energy of the Queen of Wands would be water and fire. Okay. Yeah, and then, okay, and then you have here, I think, a numerological correspondences and associations to the zodiac sign. So here are the zodiacs and the corresponding tarot cards, the major arcana cards, and then other associations with the planets. Okay, so there's a lot of associations here and a lot of information. The minor arcana goes to the I still have difficulty saying that word. So the numerology of the minor arcana 1 to 10 also has associations with the signs. So you can pause it here if you want to read. But yeah, so this guidebook is pretty interesting. You have a lot of information that you can get before you even go into the meanings of the actual cards. And you also have a full page image on the left hand side. Now, for the minors, you have a little bit of a thumbnail, but you also have the meanings and some keywords. Then, how to read. how to use this deck. So this is, I think, the you can get a card of the day, you can get your birth card, meditation on the elements, discovering the signs, and then you have a 3-card spread and an element spread. I think it's a pretty decent guidebook. Now let's take a look at the cards. So it is glossy, a fingerprint magnet, as you can see. The backs are very, very simple. Honestly, not my favorite back, I'm not gonna lie. It is not edged, but definitely screaming for one because it is black on both sides. Oops. It is a little bit slippery, which I think will make it easy to overhand shuffle this deck. Now, you'll see that my copy has a little bit of a bend or a fold on the full card, and that is because when I try to riffle it, since it is a thick deck, I probably bent this card. Now, the cardstock, aside from being glossy, it is a little bit thick. It doesn't snap back as well, and you can see that it folds and bends. My copy, I've only shuffled this like a few times. It already has a few dings and a little bit of a fold, you know, here and there. Yeah, I don't like the cardstock. Maybe that's the main point of that. But let us zoom in and take a closer look at the cards. Before that, I also wanted to show you how it compares to a standard tarot size. So it is taller and wider, which is why I think it was a lot more difficult to shuffle. And it's a pretty thick deck, you know. Okay, anyway, so let us zoom in again and take a closer look at the cards. Alright, so I adjusted my light so that we don't get too much of a glare from these glossy cards. But the art or the cards are borderless. You do have the number at the top and the name of the card at the bottom. At the same time, you have astrological constellations. I don't know how to read them yet, so I can't tell you what they are. But for those who are familiar, you do see those in the cards as well. So the art has really bright colors against a black background, which I love. I really like that. It makes it easy to read or to see, even for someone like me who has pretty bad eyesight. The images are very visible. You also have these symbols on the cards themselves. Of course, this one I know because that is my sign. And I don't have anything in my collection which has this kind of art, which is why I also picked this up, because the art was pretty unique. And I also didn't have a deck that had these astrological or zodiac associations. So this is quite unique in my collection. I really wish the cardstock was better. I would have preferred like a thinner cardstock. I wouldn't mind that. I really would have preferred it over the current cardstock that this deck is in. Because of the experience of the cardstock, I don't feel called to use this deck a lot. And later on, when we do the test shuffle, I'll show you why. But I do like the guidebook and I like the art. So for now, this is still pretty safe in my collection. And yeah, since I also bent one of the cards, I don't feel right to sell it or to rehome this deck because it's not in a really good condition anymore. Definitely it's still usable, but I don't want to pass it on to somebody else in that condition. So if you want to take a closer look at the cards, please feel free to slow down or pause this video. And if you just want to see how this deck shuffles, I do have timestamps in all of my videos. If you just want to see or to hear how the guidebook reads, I have a sample reading at the end. The art is very much inspired by the RWS. I do like that there is diversity in this deck. Then the swords. And lastly, the Pentacles. Alright. So as I usually do in these videos, I zoom out and then we'll see how this deck shuffles. And then we'll pick a card to read so that you can also have a sense of how the guidebook reads. Alright, so it is thick. I have trouble getting my hands around it, so it's a bit difficult for me to shuffle. What I do is split it into smaller piles so that I can shuffle, and then combine that into a bigger pile. I'm sorry, combine half of this pile with the next, you know, something like that, and then shuffle this. Yeah, because I can't get my hands around the full deck. It does take a lot more time, and again, the experience is not so good with shuffling. You can see that there is a little bit of a bend or a bow forming. So yeah, but for overhand shuffling or side shuffling, it does shuffle better this way. It doesn't stick, even though there's a glossy finish to this card. I take that back because I think I pulled out two cards. I think they're stuck together, which is why. But let's see if I can get another card to jump out. If it's another two cards, then I think there's still a little bit of sticking going on. But let's see. And give us a card to read, please. Yeah, but it's the shuffle isn't that comfortable for me. So yeah, if you have smaller hands like me, okay, all right. So yeah, I guess it doesn't stick that much, or it doesn't stick because I got one. And then let's just read for the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is a variation of fire. So you have here, I think this is the fire element, which is the element of all the knights. Sorry. Fire with the air element. We know how explosive the combination of these two elements can be, but also how effective it is when we want to light a warm and welcoming fire. The Knight of Swords is therefore the action, fire, that is processed by the mind, by ideas, which is air. The card carries both elements, so when we encounter it, we must ask ourselves if they are balanced or not. Is the situation constructive or destructive? Can we have a clear strategy, or are we only dragged by passion? The Knight of Swords seems focused on his goal, but he must also pay attention to his surroundings, remembering the importance of integrating these two aspects. And then you also have the usual keywords, which is mental quickness, intelligence, and then you also have some keywords which say mental quickness, intelligence, and the thinker. So it's a very good guidebook if you're interested in learning about the elements, the associations, and I like it because of that. And again, the art or the colors on this deck is really, really beautiful. It's quite distinct. I don't have anything like it, and there's a lot to be learned. I just wish the cardstock was better or was different from what it currently is, but overall it's still a pretty good deck if those things don't bother you, or if, like me, you really just want to learn about the zodiac, the associations to tarot, and all of these things. So anyway, that has been the flip through of the Zodiac Tarot. If you find this helpful, please click on the like button. I would really appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel where I post videos like this at least once a week. See you again next time. Bye!